has also evolved as well. And the community has evolved in terms of the lifestyle, the needs, right? So, but one thing has not changed is how the beef community communicate nutrition and health information both verbally and in writing has to be based on science and evidence, has to be evidence-based. We also support the leading recommendation on diet and health by leading health organizations such as the Dietary Guidelines for Americans, American Heart Association. We also really encourage the community to follow the advice of their private personal provider as well as their dietitian, registered dietitian. So this is the set of statement of principle that we have to follow in how we communicate with the public. Because of you are all in part of the conversation, beef has evolved. Overall beef, the total fat of beef has dropped by 34% in the last 30 years. The total saturated fat has gone down by 17%. And because of providers like yourself, you reflect back to the farmers and ranchers, saying that consumers like more leaner choices. So we're kind of all together in terms of growing and providing more lean choices. And you also ask tough questions about the environmental aspect of that. So that's a very, very healthy collaboration that farmers are doing a lot more and more can be done as well in terms of improving the use of resources in growing beef. So, but overall, the totality of evidence shows that you might have heard one evidence or one research, another research about red meat, but the totality of evidence points to that overall, having following a balanced diet with moderation, variety, and physical activity, and don't smoke, maintaining a healthy weight, that seems to be the foundation of a healthy lifestyle. But I would be amiss if I don't mention protein, because that is the focus of a lot of emerging research and really show the important role of protein in optimal health, particularly in achieving that body composition. Now we are all very, very good at calculating the BMI, body mass index. Give me the mass, give me the kilogram, give me your meter, your height in meter, I'll crank out BMI, right? We still use that in somehow, helping to diagnose the weight status, but we also know that the body composition is the more lean muscle and less fat mass. Really, the fat mass is really what tracks a lot of chronic disease risk, particularly cardiovascular disease. So researchers have found out that higher amount of protein spread out through 3 meals help people get more health benefits from the exercise. They are able to lose more fat mass, maintain more lean muscle mass, and when they lose weight, they lose most of the weight from fat, and also be able to keep the weight loss off longer. Higher amount of protein every meal. So what is higher amount? Aim for 30 grams per meal. 30 grams lunch, 30 grams breakfast, 30 grams dinner. Most of Americans are kind of doing it a little bit wrong. We skip out the door without having protein much, and then maybe a little bit more, and then we sit down for dinner. That's our big dinner. Protein, 65% of protein in a day is consumed in one meal. So researchers found out that that may not be the best way to spread it out. And so you heard me mention 30 grams of protein. At least aim for 25 to 30 grams. 25 grams of protein will be your palm size, that's the serving size. That's 3 ounces cooked. Approximately will give you, from a serving size of beef, will give you approximately 25 grams of protein. That's all you need because it's a very nutritious and nutritious dense protein food. So this is very interesting because I was told that people love this chart. It shows you 5 different ways to get your 25 grams of protein, comparing a variety of protein sources to beef. And you can see that because beef is a nutrient dense and lower calorie per protein gram. So you get 25 grams of protein average from a 3-ounce serving size of beef. It's average about 173 calories, and that's about 1/4 of the calories if you're getting your protein from carbohydrate sources, such as quinoa or peanut butter. So something to think about. And again, you're all very familiar with dietary guideline for Americans. That it really came out right off the bat saying that a healthy dietary pattern is a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, and half of the grains should be whole grains, low-fat dairy, variety of lean protein, and again, by reviewing the last 5 years of research, once again they affirm that lean meat is part of a healthy dietary pattern. But you have to keep in mind is you have to work in consideration the preferences, the cultural preferences, personal preferences of the clients in coming up with the best healthy dietary pattern for them. Does it make sense? So, there you have a lot of choice for center of the plate protein choices. If you're a vegetarian, will be your nuts and beans, legumes, tofu, or fish, poultry, or lean red meat. But you will also stop and think about that. Research after research shows that taste is the #1 reason where consumers make their shopping decision of a certain food. And I think that applies to all of us too. So if you can work taste and nutrition together, that really goes a long way in helping your client to be successful in achieving that wellness goal. So we are just happy to say that beef is very unique in a way that it gives you taste and nutrition in one small package. That's why that handout is called Big Nutrition in Small Package. Any beef cut, you're going to hear Jean talk about different beef cuts, but all beef share the same 10 vital essential nutrients. And just to mention a few, one serving size of beef approximately give you 25 grams of protein, and that's about 50% of your daily need, daily value percentage. And it's a complete protein, so it has all the essential amino acids that our body cannot make. Iron is another interesting nutrient as well. The iron from animal source is called hemi-iron. That's the kind of iron that your body absorbs 2 to 3 times more effectively than plant sources iron. So something to think about. And you could enhance the absorption of iron from plant sources by combining that with vitamin C rich foods such as orange juice. So something again to think about when you advise and counsel a variety of different kinds. Zinc boosts immune system, very, very important when you're counseling different age groups. The elderly, they have the issues if they're bed rest, bedridden, or young active athletes from sports injuries, so the zinc helps boost their immune system and recover from injury. And all the multiple vitamins, all 10 vital nutrients in 1 3-ounce cooked beef. So we talked about how beef has become leaner over the years, and you can see on the left-hand side the same cut of top sirloin, and you're going to see that a little bit later on. I had that in the refrigerator. So you can see that in 1960, there's a lot more external fat, and you can compare that to the picture on the right. And again, that's because the farming community responded by coming up with leaner choices. And I mentioned that total fat dropped by 34%, and saturated fat dropped by 17% over the years. Go to the next slide. Now you might have heard me or Jean mention about lean. That's a USDA definition. So if you have the white, if you can hold up the Big Nutrition in Small Package, if you open that, yes, that's right on top, right? If you open that, you see a running lady with the 10 nutrients. You get that? So you don't have to memorize it. There's a white bubble on the left-hand side, I think. That's lists the USDA definition of lean. 4.5 grams of saturated fat, less than 10 grams of total fat, less than 95 milligrams of cholesterol, less than 95 milligrams of cholesterol. Let me repeat that to make sure that people watching the video take that correctly from me. So that's the USDA definition of lean. So when you see lean cut of beef, that's what that means. Okay? So majority of lean beef today are lean. Over 65% are lean. several research, and there's been a growing body of evidence and research that shows that lean beef as part of an overall healthy diet help improve heart health. And this is one of the more recent one. I think this was published last year, called BeefWise. It's called Beef and Weight Improvement, Satisfaction, and Energy. And what is this? Is a weight loss study. It measured higher protein diet, but it divided the group of subjects into non-red meat to red meat source. And then they have the same amount of protein, and they measure the amount of weight loss. And this is what they found. So you see the black line?
So these are the results. The black line represents the 0 line. So any...
I wonder if I have the...
Is that you?
That must be me. You can, yeah, that would do. Because I have a version of this with my voiceover.
Do you want to play it?
No.
Sit back, relax.
But you can.
Magic.
Yes, it's like lip singing. So the black line, but you can go to, it's on our YouTube channel. If you kind of are interested to revise some of the key points that I made, you can go to nybeef.org YouTube channel. You can watch that narrated presentation. So the black line is 0 line. Anything above the black line, that's increase. Anything below the black line is reduction in weight. So you can see that the tan color is, it's probably just not shown on this chart. The tan color is the beef group, and the blue color is the non-beef, non-red meat group. Oh, thank you. Good eye.
Easier to see.
So you can see that both groups reduce their body weight almost the same. But the remarkable thing is, look at the second set of bar, the fat mass. 95% of the weight loss from both groups came from fat loss. And that is from the higher protein diet. So that's remarkable. Now the newer one, that's the Mediterranean diet. You're all familiar with the Mediterranean diet, a diet rich in fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, and higher in olive oil. So it's not a low-fat diet. It's actually a higher fat diet, but it's high in olive oil, and moderation in poultry and fish. And what we came to understand is that it is restricted in red meat. So the Mediterranean diet has been rated as the #1 best overall diet by U.S. News and Report for many years. So it's very, very popular. It's gaining popularity over the years as well. And so what was interesting is the pilot study in studying the Mediterranean diet was in 2006. They studied over 700 subjects, and then studied the benefits, the cardiovascular benefit of Mediterranean diet. They really show an improvement in cardiovascular health. But what they did not show is they did not really compare the type of protein in the study. And then they follow up with the pilot again with a full-scale study, and that involved 10 times as many subjects, involved over 7,000 subjects. They used the same methodology, and again, they found out that the Mediterranean diet reduced cardiovascular risk by 30%. But once again, they really did not compare the type of protein. They did not compare animal sources of protein versus plant sources of protein. So researchers begin to contemplate where is the data that somehow maybe something got lost in the translation, and how the recommendation today came to be understood as restricted in red meat. So the researchers in Purdue University and and University of Texas Medical Branch, they got together and did a randomized control trial. The study is jointly funded by National Institute of Health and the Beef Checkoff for Beef Community. So this is a randomized control trial. They look at several cardiovascular factors. They divided the group into red meat with Mediterranean diet. It's about 3 ounces of red meat a day.